So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So another day and another Kicks review. So if you wanna check out my walk around review of the VE variant, the link of that will be description down below. So I compared both of these variants already, but this time I am going to drive this. Yes, I am going to drive this now. So I'd like to thank Nissan Mandaluyong, Miss Cha, Miss Ash, and Sir Adrian, and Auto Hub Group. So what you get here now with the top of the line VL variant, as I said in my VE review, you have 4-watt LED fog lamps now here, and you have cameras below here on the side mirror. And what's also cool with the VE variant, I did not take note of this, that the VE are still power folding side mirrors. I mean, all of the variants are power folding side mirrors. And I'll show you again what's powering this Nissan Kicks. So like all the Kicks brands, so powering this is a 100 kilowatt electric motor that produces 134 horsepower and 280 Newton meters of torque. And what charges the electric motor itself, that doesn't power the front wheels whatsoever. You have a engine slash generator. You have a 1.2 liter naturally aspirated 3-cylinder engine that produces 78 horsepower and 80 Newton meters of torque. The entire lineup is powered by this. This is also what we get in our market because the Kicks is powered by a gasoline engine. So thank goodness we get the hybrid variant. So here at the rear of the Nissan Kicks VL. So also thank you for the one who commented in my VE walk around review that this was a mistake, by the way. This is not your reverse camera. This is actually your washer nozzle for the rear windscreen. The VE does not have a reverse camera whatsoever, but it has rear parking sensors. For this VL top of the line variant now, this is your reverse camera right here. And I didn't mention this in my VE walk around review. In darker colors, I didn't notice these lines over here. But in this white color, I did notice it kind of looks like a split tailgate, but sadly, it's not. Like all the Kicks variants, it's still pretty spacious. Also one of the most spacious in its class for a subcompact crossover. So the boot space here is 470 liters, and then with all the seats down, it's 135 liters. Also, I'd like to thank Nissan Mandaluyong for these freebies, a hat here, and a Nissan e-Power lace here. So here in the interior of the Kicks VL van, also I did not mention this in the VE walk around review. The other difference for the VE and this VL variant, chrome door handle inserts. Okay, that was a dead giveaway that I failed to mention in my walk around review. So interior here is pretty much the same layout. This time you get the zero gravity leather seats here, and they have double glazed stitching here. I love the seats here. The fabric looks a bit better. You have the electric honeycomb design, but this one, it looks plain, but it's leather. And the bolstering's just better than the fabrics of the VE variant. And yes, sitting here just as comfortable as the fabric seats, as I mentioned. Also, another mistake you guys mentioned, that this is your headlight adjuster. So I thought it was the brightness of the digital display. So everything's the same here. Small center console box, massive glove box, and the layout here in the center console. And then as well, space here in the back, exactly the same. Despite being top of the line variant, you still have no central armrest whatsoever, which is a bummer for me. But it's not a deal breaker though. And also space in the back seats is also on par with the competition, pretty spacious. Yeah, so that's the key differences only for this VL and the VE variant. So with that before we have a drive, I'll show you all the tech. This is it. I'm gonna drive the all-new Nissan Kicks. Sorry for this again. Just a little experiment only. Okay, the reverse camera is alright, and the 360-degree camera. It's not the best ever, but it's not too bad too. Okay, this feels a bit surreal. It's so quiet. I mean, I'm just traveling what, like 10? Almost 10 kilometers per hour. There's now the engine kicks in. So remember, take note, this does not power the front wheels whatsoever. So this engine's sole purpose is to charge the batteries only. So it still works in tandem at speeds, but as I said, it's only there to charge the battery. It just suddenly kicked in. And I do notice immediately with the brakes, the feeling is not as weird as, say, like the Nissan Leaf, because of course that was a pure electric car. That one's brakes were very, very high, and this one is just like your normal crossover. I have to say, I'm very impressed with the brake feel of this. And the auto hold function, usually it's a bit jerky in some of the crossovers. Not this one. It feels like, well, you're just literally stepping on a brake. And the steering feel, it's pretty light as well. There's a bit of weight to it because I'm in sport mode. So there's eco mode. Oh, so you have D, which is normal, and then D sport, and then D eco. Okay, I did notice something immediately. This has that e-pedal, like one pedal driving. It's the same concept as the Nissan Leaf, but this one's slightly different. It's not like when you release the throttle, it will go to a full stop. This one of the Kicks is a little bit more gradual. It seems a bit more lighter. Okay, it's not as intrusive as the Leaf, just being honest as well. And then I do love the sound effect of the infotainment system. It's like your old Windows type of sound effect. I love that. And here, eco mode. Okay, seems responsive from a standstill. And then it just kicked in suddenly again. Let's try EV mode. Oh wait, as you can see, their EV unavailable battery low. Alright, so it still needs to be charged, but at times, like at a stop, it goes to full EV mode, like at low speeds like this, 10 kilometers per hour. Okay, that's not. Oh, I like this experience. So yes, this competes with most of the crossovers, but none of them have this feature, like full electric mode. Here I'm traveling 20 kilometers per hour. I don't even have to use the brakes. That's how good the e-pedal is doing. The NVH is super good. I mean, here around Shaw Boulevard only, I expected a lot of tire noise since this is an electric car, but no. I mean, I gotta say, this is great. So let's try. Of course, you know me, I'll try sport mode just in a bit. And then if you put it into B mode, the e-pedal will become stronger. Okay, here in B mode now. Oh, it's much stronger, but it's still not as strong as the Leaf, I gotta say. Okay, put it back to D. Oops. Ooh, okay, I can tell it's already punchy. It's still in EV mode. The engine has not fired up at all. And then over humps and rumble strips like that, surprisingly comfortable. Suspension is not as firm as the Nissan Leaf, since that was a very heavy car. This one, okay, it's like your typical crossover. It's just like smack in between a Chevrolet Tracker and Geely Cooler. The suspension is not too firm or not too soft as well. It's just the right amount. And surprise, being an EV, the torque of this is crazy. It's like instantaneous. So I'm just in eco mode, by the way. Even though in eco mode, it's still pretty responsive. And I did notice immediately, since this was left in sport mode, I did notice the steering wheel weighted up ever so slightly. But I gotta say, sport mode is really good already. Fuel gauge over there is just at half bar. Of course, it's meant to charge the batteries only, but it's been averaging 10.7, 10.8 kilometers per liter here in the city only. That's still impressive. And what's cool as well with the engine, it kicks in at the right time. It's not like very intrusive, like boom, at some of the mild hybrids I've tested on my channel. And driving it a bit more, I did notice the suspension. It's probably one of the more comfortable crossovers in its class, I gotta say. It's really good. Let's explore it. Oh! Oh wow, that's really peppy. Okay, the engine kicked in. It's just charging the battery a little bit more. Okay, overtaking is easy. Wow, the torque is nuts. Of course, few more things I need to take note with the powertrain of this. The 0 to 100 kilometer time of this actually varies. So 8.8 seconds, or some have even gotten 8 seconds. So this thing's pretty peppy for what this is. And as well, top speed is limited to 165 kilometers an hour for obvious reasons. It's an electric car, and Of course, the top speed will slightly decrease only depending on the state of the charge of the battery. Of course, the Leaf will be worlds apart when it comes to acceleration, but this one is not bad at all. And then NVH, it's your typical Nissan, but in its class, probably also one of the better ones as well. Despite being a 3-cylinder engine slash generator, when it kicks in, it doesn't shudder that much. You don't feel it, unlike a conventional 3-cylinder engine. I haven't tried that in the Almera for obvious reasons, because it won't allow me to. Whoa. Yeah, sport mode just sharpens up the throttle ever so slightly, but I do love the steering feel in sport mode. It's really good. I gotta say, with the steering feel, it's almost as good as the Geely Coolray. That good, in my opinion only. And then normal mode, of course, the most balanced setting of all the drive modes. And yeah, I gotta say, of course, sport mode is my favorite one. But for daily use, I'll be honest, I'll just leave it in eco mode most of the time. Of course, this is meant to be a very fuel efficient vehicle. I'll leave it in eco mode most of the time because, of course, being an EV vehicle, the torque is still instant. It wants to keep on going. I'm impressed with that. This is just normal mode. Start overtake. Yeah, it's nuts. I'm surprised this is really peppy. And I gotta say, it's pretty fun to drive as well. Wow! Not as good as the Leaf, as I said, but this one's not bad at all. Compared with the competition, I'm surprised this is right up there in terms of driving dynamics. And of course, being a EV vehicle, it's pretty unique as well in its segment. And here, more bumpy parts in the roof. Wow, going uphill is easy, no problem whatsoever. Over bumps, rougher roads, and here a hump. It's not bad at all. Okay, I noticed in sport mode, I lift off a bit. Okay, the e-pedal is just little bit stronger than usual compared to eco and normal mode. And as well, visibility, C-pillar is a little bit big, but it's not too bad. It's so good. Would I buy one? Personally, I would literally. This is such a cool vehicle, and probably the crossover I've been looking for. Of course, I've always wanted something that's fuel efficient, matipid. This is up there. I mean, this is the best balance of an EV and a gasoline powered vehicle. I mean, it's got everything you need. And of course, you won't have an issue with range anxiety since there's an engine slash generator that charges the electric motors. You won't have an issue with range whatsoever. So the question, if you can take this up to Baguio, you can definitely take it up, because Nissan recently had a media drive, a 500-kilometer test drive to Bicol. The Nissan Kicks made it there with no issues whatsoever. I really want one now, surprisingly. Let's try it one more time. Oh. This is so good. So, that concludes my review of the game-changing crossover, this Nissan Kicks. So I'd like to thank Auto Hub Group, Nissan Show Mandaluyong, Miss Cha, Miss Ash, and Sir Adrian for allowing me to review finally this Nissan Kicks VL. So hopefully I'll be able to walk around the base variant of this very soon. So hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you with more future car reviews. Bye bye.